week, you guys have obviously gotten an emotional bump, which you were expecting on the weekend. What about week 2 under Brett Ratten?
I think it's just business as usual. The program, as we stated last week, wasn't going to change, and we've just stuck to Al's program and how we go about it. And it was nice to see some really good vision and how we went about it. So that was the pleasing aspect. So that's a challenge this week. A team that's playing very good footy, top of their game, and we've had a spike in performance, which is great. So the challenge will be for us is, can we replicate that? And we're going to be working very hard on that.
Are you expecting to welcome back a couple of senior bodies?
Yeah, we've got match committee to finalise the survey. So Cam's available, which is great. Ben Cunnington played really well in the reserves. Taryn's available from a club point of view. So we've just got to go through to just make sure, who's going to be in and what's it look like. And when you perform like that, it makes it hard to get back into the team for some. So we'll just have that discussion and go through that.
Just looking through the VFL, I saw young Cooper kick 5.
Is
he knocking on the door?
Well, he's got a good body of work at VFL level, and he's progressing well. He's off. He's not quite there yet. There's a couple in front of him that are in the seniors, but he's doing everything right. And as a first-year player, that's all you can do. And he's sort of put his case forward to say, it might be a couple of weeks down the track or a month down the track, but to kick 5, you've got to do something right, and he did.
Just on Taryn, is it the same player that we've seen glimpses of in the past from what you've seen, just even out on the train track since you've come back, in terms of the talent that we've seen?
Oh, he's very talented, there's no doubt about it, but we're going to make sure, is he right to go at AFL level, and that's the responsibility of the team to make sure we perform, and that's collectively and individually. So we'll have that discussion to make sure, does he need another one, or is he right to go, and we'll select him on that.
Has he done enough in terms of all the work required to get back and play at the top level?
He's pretty close, and that's probably the discussion this afternoon around that, to just tick off with everybody to make sure that, which way we go, there's, this is why he's in the team, because he's done all the work, or does he need another one? We'll just have to have that conversation and make that decision.
So Bailey Scott and Eddie Ford have really good games. Is that the Brett Ratten effect to get a bounce out of those guys?
No, well, not at all. There's things that you do in your program that, we train different drills and the way we want to go about things, and sometimes they just take a little bit of time to transfer from the Monday through to the weekend, or the Monday to Friday into the weekend, and we got a bit of a spike on some of the things that we've been working on, and that was through Al. That wasn't me. That was what Al was doing. So from that point of view, those boys played well. It was great to see Bailey perform at that level, and Fordy's a young fella that's he's developing, which is great, and he played a little bit up on the wing as well, which is just another thing for him to keep moving forward with.
Do you think Collingwood's a benchmark?
Yeah, I do. And how consistent they are. It's not just they've played a good game here and there. It's just how consistent they've been from game to game. When you're 9-1, you've played pretty good footy. The numbers tell you that. So it's their ability to use the ball, and it's like they're all on the same page defensively as well. They're working so hard to get the ball back, and that's going to be the challenge for us. Can we challenge them with our offence, and can we get the ball back off them? Because what they've shown is they're so effective with the footy, and to a man they're doing it, and that's what confidence does, and belief, and they look like they're all on the same page with that.
How much can you use that to motivate a pretty young group to measure themselves up against that this week?
Whatever happens, good, bad or indifferent this week, we are going to find out a lot about ourselves. There's be some younger players there playing on some very good players of the competition, and they'll get to see what the gap is, and hopefully the gap's not too big, but they'll get to find exactly what it takes to be at the top of the ladder at round 10. That's where Collingwood are, and that's what our players will get to sort of challenge themselves to go against the Pendleburys and the De Goeys and these types through the midfield. They'll get to challenge them. The Wardlaws of our club will say, well, I'm a 2-game player, Pendles is 300 odd, I'll get a chance, and is it side bottom who's 300 on the wing? You get to challenge yourself against him to see where you're at. So that'll be, for us, the Monday learning from what goes on the weekend will be fantastic.
We're just asking one on Jake played Stevenson, 100 games.
Yeah.
Not many 24-year-olds have experienced what they have in 100 games, but how important is those experiences for him as still at a young age, but as almost a bit of a mentor now for some of those young kids that are coming through?
Yeah, I think it's a credit to Jaden. I think his form this year has been really solid. He's been one of the consistent players for our team, and to reach 100 games, I think when you pass some milestones as a player, you sort of it allows you to then start to tell your story a bit more too. And I think now that'll open, a bit more freedom for him to say, 100 names on the locker, all these things that you just take for granted. But I think it'll allow him to, tell his story to the younger players and how to go about it and what to expect and what he did, because I think everybody's footy story is a little bit different. There's no similar. There's a similar path, but not the same path. So I think you can just touch on those experiences.
So the vision of George and Luke Parker going at it during the game, is that the George Wardlaw that you know, pretty combative young fella?
Yeah, he's pretty combative, George. He just plays his footy on instinct, and he's a competitor. So. That's what we sort of sat there in the box on the weekend and just admired how he went about it, and what his value is in the team. He brings that spirit which we don't want to take away from him.
What about Harry in midfield? Because he's been so good off the half-back flank, and he's seen it forward a little bit, but in a set of ounces, and he ends up having 2 goals in 25.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid performance. Whether we go that way this week, we sort of got to finalise that, and we maybe the fair bit of discussion is, do you tag Nick? He's in pretty good touch, Nick, and sometimes if you tag him, you don't stop him either. So where does it sit? I think we'll have to sort of finalise those discussions, and that might shape where Harry plays. But he's played pretty well at halfback.
Have you spoken to Clarko at all this week?
Not this week. He texted me before the game and straight away after, and I shot him a text. But personally, it's an interesting one. I want to reach out to him, but I want him just to forget about footy, and I just want him to just take a breath, go for walks, do things where he's not consumed by the game, and just clearing his mind and his well-being. So I've been there thinking, do you want me to do anything, or is there anything there? But I've just been very reluctant to do anything, because we want to let him have his own space, and this is what it's about. If we keep putting him in emails and all these things he gets every week or every day, he's back in the same spot. So let him have his freedom, let him have his space, but let him get his well-being back and get back here. I'm just keeping this seat warm.